Hello everyone, my name is Eneida Espino and I am Chairman of the Board of the ASPIRA of Massachusetts. And the reason I am here today is because I want to speak to you about ASPIRA of Massachusetts, what it's all about, and why we decided to form this nonprofit organization here in Southbridge, Mass. In October of 2009, we decided as a collective group of community members, parents, and some retired teachers to address the issues of the achievement gap and the bridge between the Hispanic and the non-Latino students here at Southbridge High School and in Southbridge in general. We were concerned about the gaps in MCAS scores, SAT scores, also the large dropout rate of the Latino students within the high school and middle school, and also high pregnancy rates. So we decided to get together as a collective group to address these issues and to see if we could help our students achieve success in the educational arena along within the community arena and their careers. In 2009, we applied for an affiliation to an association called ASPIRA National. ASPIRA simply means to aspire. This group was formed 50 years ago by parents just like our group here in Southbridge in New York to address the same gaps they had in New York on the Latino students. They've been proven a successful model for the education and parent programs over the 50 years that they've been in existence. They are also in existence in other states such as Florida, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Connecticut, most recently in Delaware, and then we were accepted as an affiliation in 2009. Our motto and our mission is to empower the Puerto Rican Latino community through the advocacy in the education and leadership development of its youth. Although our mission states Latinos, our programs are open to every student that is having significant problems in the education arena. Their programs consist of a math and science academy, a parent group, a youth club, and various other groups such as financial awareness, literacy programs, knowing how to start their own business, other medical concerns such as the HIV, other medical criterias. However, in order for us to start our programs, we decided to concentrate on the three major factors, which was the education. It's an investment in Latino youth in the education and the growth of their education. We started with a Saturday Academy, which we will be discussing shortly. I will be speaking shortly with the program director that we recently hired. I just want to give you a little bit about my background. I grew up here in Southbridge. I went through the education system here in Southbridge. I have 3 children who have come and graduated through Southbridge High School and gone on to college. And I've also completed a master's degree. I have a successful job. And people may ask, why are you doing this when you don't really have to? And the reason I'm doing it is it's almost like a payback, pay it forward. We need to teach our students to be successful, especially in the Hispanics, which is the largest growing population in the United States. It's difficult to see when a student is failing, especially in education. When someone fails with their education, they also are not able to succeed sometimes in life, and this is not acceptable. So based on this, we decided to come together as a group, and I said, yes, I am here, you can count on me. With me, I have our most recent hire, which is, her name is Gilmarie Flores Rivera. She'll be speaking to you shortly on our Saturday Academy, what it entails, how many students we have presently, and what we're going to be doing forward with it in our youth club. Before I do present Gilmarie, I do want to say that we started the Saturday Academy in 2010, and we've had several successes with the students going on to college. We started also the youth club about a year ago with 25 students at the Southbridge High School. We've applied for many grants. We were awarded the Greater Worcester Foundation grant for $2,500, which helped us start the Saturday Academy. And most recently, we applied and we were awarded $50,000 from the Community Development Block Grant, which has helped us to continue to fund our programs. We continue to do fundraisers to supplement, because as a nonprofit organization, we rely on donations, sponsorships, and awards. We have had celebrated 3 Fiesta de Reyes as a fundraiser, and we also have held Hispanic Heritage Month celebrations, and the most recent we held in September of last year. So with that in mind, I will be presenting with you to you the various co-chairs of those subcommittees, and they will be giving you more information about that. So Gilmarie, thank you for coming today and welcome.
Thank you for having me.
I'm happy that you could make it. So can you give us a little bit of what the Saturday Academy entails?
Yes. Now, the Saturday Academy is hosted on Saturdays at QCC, the Southbridge campus right here in Southbridge at 5 Optical Drive. And the students come to, to Quinsig, and the classes start from 9 o'clock in the morning till 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We are right now entering our 3rd session of this year, and it started the 21st of January, where basically we focus on financial aid help, on hiring the MCAS scores if they, already taken it or are about to take it, especially since we are targeting more of the sophomores, juniors, and seniors. Also, SAT preparations. This coming Saturday, we're actually going to UMass Amherst for a college, a private group tour visit, so that the students can actually visit a college campus, especially since most of them are stuck in the Southbridge bubble. They don't really have the opportunity to get a private tour visit to a university, as opposed to just going to college and kind of walking around and seeing anything. We're going to have our private tour guide that will take us around the entire campus, and this is a tour guide that actually attends UMass Amherst. So we'd like to do more of that, and we do look forward to doing that hopefully in the summertime. But right now we're doing that this Saturday, and we're also there for tutorial help.
Okay, and do you do any career awareness and leadership preparation in the Saturday Academy?
Yes, absolutely. Along with what you said, because education is so tied to your future, without having a fundamental, a really good, strong educational base, it's really hard for anyone to succeed in life. It's harder. So we're teaching them that, the differences between a person who only has a high school diploma as opposed to someone who has an associate or a bachelor's degree. I was reading in the Telegram and Gazette the other day, the differences in gaps on, unemployment rates for someone who just has a high school diploma and someone who has a bachelor's degree. Someone who has a bachelor's degree is much more likely to be unemployed for a much shorter time, or even, has a much shorter chances of being laid off than a person who just has a high school diploma. And because they have that kind of fallback to lie on their resume, that makes them a better candidate as well. And along with leadership, we're teaching them that because we're such in a competitive world, you have to learn how to be a leader.
Okay, and is there a curriculum that you follow set by ASPIRA?
Yes, absolutely. ASPIRA has the Saturday Academy is 8 weeks long, and every single week is a certain, in the syllabus is a certain curriculum, a certain topic that's taught every single week. For example, last week it was taught on leadership and time management. So those were the 2 main topics that were taught last week. So every single week, the students are highly, and that's one particular subject. That's all they learn on that one Saturday, so that they get a nice versatile overview on how to be leaders and how to go to college, and just an overall kind of like a liberal arts education. They get like a nice well-rounded feel to it.
And now, the majority of the students that you have, you said this semester, I know that in the past we had mainly 11th and 12th grader because that's where we centralized it.
Yes.
This year you also have sophomores.
That is correct.
And
yes.
how is that working out?
To be honest, because this is January and the sophomores now will really be juniors in a few more months. And really, I thought it because the seniors, now most of them are already done with the MCAS, they're already done with SATs, they've already done applying to colleges. Most of the seniors weren't really motivated to join another group because they've already kind of done their thing. But having sophomores now, I think it's kind of interesting because I get them earlier, and I think the earlier you start this trend, this is a good habit to get them into, every single Saturday, for 8 weeks, twice a year, is a good habit to get into. And, we're a resource. We're just an additional resources, and we're here to help them. And I think the earlier we get them, the better.
Okay, I understand, and I know that we have a memorandum of understanding with the public schools here in Southbridge. How was your recruitment method?
Now with recruitment, there were different mediums that I used. I first started by posting flyers around town. I just wanted to get the news out, and so I went to the local supermarkets. So I went to Big Y. I went to Big Bunny. I also went to the gym. So I went to the YMCA. I posted it at the town hall. I actually even had the town hall posted on their local access, so that it was posted on the local access channel, also on their bulletin board, and I also posted it at the library. Also, in addition with that, I actually printed about 200 flyers that were handed out to the Spanish Mass on the Sunday before we started our Saturday Academy. And my last recruitment was really just going to I went to the high school and I spoke with the guidance counselor, and they were really helpful. And she got me into 3 ESL classes and then 3 additional regular classes. So students that are not in ESL classes. And I passed around sign-in sheets, and I gave the applications, and I basically told them what the Saturday Academy was about, and I told them, the forms that I needed, and a lot of students were interested.
Good, I'm glad, I'm happy. Now, what about the youth club?
Okay, the youth club differs from the Saturday Academy because there isn't a set curriculum by ASPIRA. The youth club is different because it can be 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade in the youth club. And on top of that, it's all year round. It isn't this 8-week program, a curriculum of 8-week program. It's done all year round. And on top of that, it's youth that are leading this program, this club. So they have their president, their vice president, their treasurer, and basically they decide what they want to do. If they want to do a fundraiser, if they want to go on that college visit, if they notice that there's a particular subject that they need help with, they decide that. Whereas with the Saturday Academy, we stick to a certain, we have a structure curriculum that we go by. But the youth club is unique in the fact that the youth are the leaders. That they run the show. Okay,
and I believe that one of their criteria is to get involved with the community and do some type of community work, teach them leadership, and also get involved in mentoring other students if that's needed.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Why don't you give me a little bit of background where you come from? We just recently hired you as program coordinator. So why don't you tell me a little bit of where you come from and your background?
Okay. I was born in Rio Piedras, Puerto Rico, and we came to Massachusetts when I was really young. We first moved to Lawrence, Massachusetts, which most people know that living in Lawrence is really like living in Dominican Republic, really. So it's unique. Lawrence is definitely unique and similar in Southbridge, and there's a lot of dropout rates, a lot of pregnancy rates. But my parents decided that Lawrence wasn't what they hoped to be. Because we moved from Puerto Rico to the United States, so that I can get a good education. So from Lawrence, we moved to Worcester, And you might say, why Worcester? Because Worcester's a city. So
and they have a bus.
Yes, and they do have public transportation. So I really grew up in Worcester. I moved to Worcester when I was 5 years old. And so, from preschool all the way till high school, I graduated, I went to Goddard School, Sullivan, and North High School in Worcester. So I was, definitely a city kid and an inner city kid that went through the public system. And even though I was motivated, I knew that there was only so much that could be done, because in a public school system, I know personally in my high school, I can't even tell you how many times we were disrupted because students were skipping out in class and the teachers were disciplining them, and that took away from my education. I know my junior and senior year was really high on the bomb threats that Worcester went through. That was at its peak. I would like to say was my junior senior year. So, we were out of school, an hour to 2 hours. I believe there was like a month where almost once every week there was a bomb threat in Worcester. Not only North, but I know Sullivan, South went through it too, and other high schools. So I knew that, and I took AP classes, and I was in the honor system, but I still don't feel like I got the education as if someone went to Notre Dame or St. Peter and Mary's, and that's the education I would have liked, and I think I would have gotten it because I had great teachers and great mentors. But again, there was a lot of disruption with that because it was in a lower income school setting. But with that being said, so I grew up in Worcester, went to North High School. I was captain of all three sports. I played cross country. I was in the swimming team, and then I was in crew. I was on the crew team at the Quinsigamon Lake, and I then applied, and I was also in the ROTC program, the Naval Junior ROTC program at North. And with that, my plans were to join the military service, but I ended up getting a full tuition scholarship at Boston College and decided that I would first try out my freshman year at BC without having the military service with me, and decided that this is where I wanted to go in life and not join the service. So I dropped from joining the military, and I just stayed at Boston College. And I recently graduated from BC in 2010 with my bachelor's degree in communication and Hispanic studies. And my senior year in college, I went a little crazy and bought a house in Southbridge, Massachusetts. The market and the interest rate were so great that I had to take advantage in purchasing a home. I wouldn't recommend buying a home during finals week, but it was an amazing experience, and I'm glad I took advantage of it. And so I have been now living in Southbridge for 2 years, and I absolutely love Southbridge. It's very different from Worcester and from Boston, but I really love Southbridge. It's this really nice small community, and I can't even explain how awesome Southbridge and how amazing my neighbors have been, and how friendly everyone is in Southbridge. And everyone knows everyone, and I'm trying to get in that little niche of circle of I want everyone now to know my name. But I absolutely love Southbridge, and I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad now that I have a position where I can be in Southbridge all day long, and I can get involved with the school system, because I will have children one day, and they will grow up in Southbridge as well. So I want to do my part, and helping the students now, so that my student, by the time I have children, they will have those leaders in the youth club.
That's great. So the Saturday Academy is going to be just started, and it's going to continue again, and then in September you're going to be recruiting more students.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate everything for your help, and I'm so glad that we decided to get you on board.
I'm happy. Thank you.
Thank you. Here with me is Severina Rios, and she's going to give us a brief presentation on the parent program for ASPIRA, and also she will speak a little bit about the scholarship applications and elaborate on how many scholarships we've given so past. So welcome, Seve.
Hello.
Nice to have you here. And can you give us a little bit update of what the ASPIRA parent program is and what the APEX, A-P-E-X stands for?
Okay, APEX, A-P-E-X stands for ASPIRA, Parents for Excellence in Education. And this is from the manual, the ASPIRA manual. It says, the ASPIRA program, which is the APEX program, which is the newest program of the ASPIRA of Massachusetts, trains parents to devise ways to improve education in their communities and help parents mobilize other parents to join in their efforts. And just like the word said, this is a parent group. What we are trying to do, it's not a parenting group or parenting. We are not teaching parents how to become parents. We are just teaching parents or helping parents become advocates and interested in the education of their children. Regardless of how smart or how intelligent a child is, if the parent is not there to support this child, there's no way he or she is going to be successful.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So that's what we are trying to do. And like I said, this is the newest component of ASPIRA of Massachusetts. We've been meeting once or twice a month, depending on the need. And we are going through the training process, the facilitators, and that comes from the Spanish word fácil, which nothing is fácil. Everything is a little bit complicated. Yeah. And it's a very small group. It's only 5 of us. Senora Staffieri, who's a retired teacher from the system, Paula Kenda, who's a 2nd grade teacher, Maria Perez, who's she works in the school system, Evelyn Rivera, she works at the town clerk's office, and myself. And we've been training ourselves, and
mic fell off.
John.
That's okay. So you've been, basically you've gone through a course to train yourselves, and from there you are going to be having parent workshops so that the parents can go through a series of workshops.
Okay. Once we're finished with the training, the next step is to start recruiting other parents, okay? And hopefully, once those parents receive training, we'll be getting more parents. And our goal is that all parents in the community are going to become interested in the APEX programs, not only Latino parents, because the way I see it, and if I'm not mistaken, the way ASPIRA sees it is that all parents need to get involved in the education of their children. And I know that the PTA is interested in working with us, and so are we.
Okay, and can you give me, what are some of the topics that you have with the workshop?
Some of the topics is, the first one is self-esteem. It's very important that parents have self-esteem. If a person doesn't have self-esteem, it's very difficult to work with other person and to try to help others. How to communicate with teachers, how to help students with their homeworks, how to, in case there's a parent-teacher in the school conference, how to go about the conference. It's also very important that parents understand that language is not don't let language be a barrier. There's always someone there to help them if there is a language problem. Okay. So language is not going to be a problem.
And also you encourage parents to get involved in school governance or even within the community?
Yes, definitely. We want parents to get involved, and like I was telling the members of the committee the other day, this is going to be a slow process. We are not going to see the results of this APEX program overnight. Yeah. It's going to take time, but we're going to see it. In a few years, you're going to see the parental involvement, which which has been very, very minimum here in Southbridge, we're going to see how it's going to increase.
And hopefully some of these parents will learn enough and get interested enough so that they can become facilitators.
They will become facilitators.
And bring other parents in and
Yes.
teach them what they've gone through, sort of like a little graduation ceremony to go with it.
That's what we're hoping for.
Okay.
And that's what we're aiming for.
Great. Now, what about the scholarship committee that you're in, unless you want to speak more about the APEX program right now?
What I would like to do is encourage parents to be open-minded, and when they receive the information about APEX, not to toss it, just to consider becoming part of the of this group. Then the scholarship. For the last 2 years, we have awarded scholarships to seniors from the Latino community graduating from Southbridge High who are attending college. The first year we gave four scholarships, four $500 scholarships, and last year we gave two $500 scholarships. And that's what we do during the year. We do fundraisers to raise funds to get money when graduation time comes. And hopefully this year, we don't know yet what's going to happen, but we'll go forward to do maybe 3 or 4 more.
Okay. And is there a certain criteria on just applying for the scholarship? Do they get the money right away? What?
Students don't get the money right away. Well, the first thing is that they have to be, students have to be accepted to a higher institution of learning, and they have to apply. They have to go through an interview process, and at the end of the first semester, when they received their grades and they have proved that they are going to start the second semester, they submit that information to ASPIRA, and that's when they received the scholarship.
Sort of like a motivation to continue.
Motivation to continue.
Because $500 now, right, would probably pay, what, 1 book, right? But something is something.
It's something.
And the goal is hopefully to increase the
Yes.
applications and the recipients.
And we encourage students that starting early March to go by the guidance office, see Mrs. Cook, and get the application for the ASPIRA scholarship.
Great.
And now that we have Gilmarie, she can give us more information about the ASPIRA scholarship and the youth club and the Saturday Academy. Get involved.
Great. Thank you very much.
You're very
Severina.
welcome.
Here I have with me the chair of our event and fundraising committee, Wanda. Viruet. Hi, Wanda. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
I'm wondering if you can give me some information of what type of events and fundraising the subcommittee does. I understand that we do have, well, I know for a fact that we do have a Fiesta de Reyes and we have Hispanic Heritage Month celebrations, but what do they involve and what are they geared towards?
Okay, well, just recently I became the chair of the fundraising and events committee, and prior to that was Orlando Rodriguez, which did a phenomenal job in organizing a few events that, actually the events that you just discussed.
Yes, he did.
He did together as a group.
Yeah.
We went ahead and we had the Fiesta de Reyes. The Fiesta de Reyes basically entails, it's a traditional Hispanic traditional Christmas event.
Epiphany, yeah.
Epiphany.
The Three Kings celebration.
The Three Kings celebration. And, you know, basically as part of ASPIRA's philosophy, you know, the kids need to basically kind of embrace, you know, some of their heritage. And, you know, it was really nice to know that we're able to involve our fundraising around some of these activities. And in Puerto Rico, they celebrate the Three Kings, and it's held January 6th. So we basically try to go around that date and basically try to fundraise for these events. This past year, this is the third year. Is that right?
Yeah, the third
year.
already.
The third year already, which is beautiful because I was always behind the scenes the first and the second year. And then this year, we held it at LaSalle's, where we were able to accommodate more people. The first year, we held it at a smaller venue, and it was an outpour from the community. It was a great event where we had folklore music, we had typical Spanish foods and desserts, and it was just an amazing event. So I'm looking forward to continuing.
Okay, and the fundraising for the Fiesta de Reyes is primarily the funding for
the scholarships that the kids receive during the summer.
Okay.
You know, after they've graduated.
So the majority is allotted for that.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
I know, and this year it was very good because we also had a little photo session where people could take pictures, and we did have a lot of dignitaries with us as usual. We have some people, major business people from the community go to the event, and people think that it's only for Hispanics, but it's not. But the majority of the people that always go are non-Spanish speaking individuals that have and want to taste the fare that we offer with, you know, the roast pork and the flan and all that good high cholesterol food that we have. And then I know we also celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month, and this past September we celebrated one.
Yes.
This was our second Hispanic Heritage Month, but it was a little different this year.
Well, we wanted to really look at, you know, what the events and the fundraising committee really was for, and what our goals were as this committee. And in doing so, we kind of actually, you know, Orlando spearheaded this one, the Hispanic Heritage Month, where we felt that we needed to brand ASPIRA and kind of bring it to the community and say, hey, this is who we are and this is what we're doing. And a lot of that, I'm sure, has been said, you know, throughout this interview by yourself and also maybe Severina. But, you know, working with the kids is, I mean, that's our number one goal, is to really put forth and give support to the kids who are aspiring to, you know, to go to college. And with this, throughout the years that ASPIRA has been, you know, up and running, we've had people who've played a role in that support. So basically, through this Hispanic Heritage Month, what we wanted to do is kind of honor these people and award them awards that would actually say, hey, you know, you're doing a great job. Thank you for your support. We appreciate it. Quinsigamond Community College received an award. Senator Moore received an award. Margaret Morrissey from Jacob Edwards received an award, and many more, which was an amazing, you know, an amazing event. I think it had really opened the doors to people actually recognizing that that's right, this is not just a Hispanic group trying to launch forward to, you know, we're basically looking for support because, you know, as the model, it takes a village to raise a family.
That's right.
You know, to raise a child. This is what we want to go ahead and you know, bring everybody together, bring all the, you know, all the supports that we can to really get our kids to where we belong.
Right. And it was significant also because our CIO from the national office made a presentation.
Amazing. Yes.
And he gave a little background of what ASPIRA is all about and our future in 2020 and how ASPIRA of Massachusetts fits into their plans, because although we're an affiliate right now, the goal is to become a full-fledged association from the National Association office. And so what plans do you have for fundraising or events so that we can raise funds to supplement our programs?
Well, some of the things that we're looking at now is we'd really love to put a golf tournament together and generate some funding through that. We'd also been looking at different sports events like a baseball league, and also, you know, different some things that are a little bit less of a task for us.
That fall.
That, you know, that we can go ahead and generate some funding. But it's been really nice because with the events that we've had, people have, you know, generated interest in the community, and people are genuinely wanting to assist us and help. And you know, there's been an outflow of an outpour, if I should say, of, you know, of people wanting to come and help. So our main goal right now is kind of getting more people on board, because to have some of these events, it is a feat. Mm-hmm. You know, we are, you know, it's a small group of us, and then we all come together with the board. But you know, we really need and would like more people on board for this committee, so that we can have the larger events like the golf tournaments.
And not only that, but planning for fundraising, perhaps get somebody to help you with grant writing and take it from there. Mm-hmm. Because we don't want to dry, you know, people from the events, but mm-hmm. that's how this organization thrives, is nonprofit, you mm-hmm. know, donations, sponsorships, and event planning and fundraising.
Absolutely.
So, can you tell me a little bit about yourself? And, you know, I know that
what would you like to know?
Well, I know you've worked in the community for a long, long time.
Yeah, well, I've worked in the community for several years. I actually was born in New York, and
which I never knew, by the way.
No, you
I
didn't.
always thought you were born in Puerto Rico.
No, never born in Puerto Rico. Born in New York. Visited Puerto Rico actually, and that's it really fascinates me about ASPIRA, is the fact that we really kind of want to drill, and I don't want to say drill, but we want to present to the kids that, you know, you don't need to lose touch with your culture, you don't need to lose, you know, touch with your roots, you know. And it's important because several years back I went to Puerto Rico because for that reason itself, is basically to say, okay, where's my family from, and what do we, you know, basically, can we say cut?
No, just learn more about your culture.
Learn more about my culture is basically, you know, why I went out there, and that's, you know, I like that about the organization, that's something that is implemented in the program and the activities and the events, and it's really nice. But you know, I've been in Southbridge for most of my life. I actually came out to the Southbridge area when I was about 11 years old, and graduated from Southbridge High School. Very quickly became acclimated to the community and the works of social services out here and human services with different organizations. Now I'm working at Brookside Terrace in Southbridge, and, you know, working under human services, and
that's good. So what would you recommend, or would you say to people about ASPIRA and your event, you know, to get them in, to help you?
Well, I mean, we need to understand that, you know, what we're dealing with is facts. We're dealing with the fact that we have a large, you know, dropout rate. We're dealing with the facts that the economy right now is not working in anyone's favor, let alone, you know, the Hispanic culture. But we're doing this to build a better community, a stronger community, to pretty much bring back, you know, to Southbridge what is deserving. You know, we want to be a vibrant community, and it's not just one culture, it's not just one, you know, one or two kids, it's everyone as a whole. Right, because when one group benefits, everybody benefits. Exactly. Well, thank you very much. I really do appreciate you giving us information on the fundraising, and I know you guys are doing a great job. Thank you. So, thank you. Well, this concludes our session for ASPIRA of Massachusetts. I want to thank everybody for taking the time to look at this video. If you wish more information about ASPIRA of Massachusetts, you can visit our website at www.aspirama.org, and our phone number is 508-764-7473. Thank you and have a good evening.